Just as Thorin mentioned, though, he's not going to want to take those duels, and he's like by far a better opper. And you know, when Guardian says that someone has destroyed him an entire map through, I don't think that you want to take a fight with that guy.
Well, here's Lucas in the window right now, spotting things out. Smoke is going to go in. That comes out from behind the island, so he's not able to see anything. Phelps playing close range here up on the balcony, and Showtime is going to be in sandwich, and it will be Phelps coming away with that first frag. Bolts with the second, Showtime with the third. Kirby gets on the board for Team Dignitas, the 1 kill, but it's Tempo Storm for Med now to the 2 on Dignitas. Kirby coming over the stairs, and where is MSL? He's right there next to him. So partners in crime, but they get arrested.
You know, this is worrisome because Dignitas are actually really, really good at pistols. Typically they armor up and they like to explode out mid on this map, but couldn't find their frags, and that's a huge part of the plan for them. I think they believe just go really light on utility, get the armor, hit your shots, and get into the site. And they couldn't do it. So Tempo, seal that up, and it's a great way to start CT side. So important to keep your economy up on the side, as it can be broken so easily.
Yeah, we will see the majority of rifles coming out. 3 FAMAS there, the cheaper ones. M4 and an MP7, as the sight lines on Mirage are often very long range, so you don't have to worry as much about those annoying Tech 9s or potentially CZs if you're Launders and you use that on the T side.
I play to win.
There's Henny coming away with the first kill. He gets a very, very aggressive, somewhat lucky to be alive. He backs off on 3 HP. MSL waiting for someone in the window, but can't land the shot. There's Bolts coming away with 1. Config finally getting the 1 dig, but now Lucas peeking off of the catwalk. He finds Kirby, and it's Config with another one. 3 on 2 now.
Wow, 2 1 digs right now. Bomb moving through underpass, and I think it was spotted as the bomb was dropped under window off that kill. Wow, the 1 dig missed by Rubino, who comes up A ramp. That would have caused quite a distraction, but now they can kind of focus their attention on both sides equally without having to worry too much. And it looks like N1 is over at the A site, so yeah. We've got a full HP player here defending B versus Config, who's been a beast so far with this Deagle.
Yeah, if he finds this next 1 dig or just lands the kill any way possible, it should lead to a bomb plant, which would be massive right now for Team Dignitas. Showtime, of course, does not want to let that happen at all, and the rotations are starting to come into the market. You could even see the player there, that's Henny, who's low, going through the underpass. So they'll have a 3-pronged retake if needed onto this site. Config does come away with 1 kill. That's on to Phelps. Now 1 versus 2. Still 20 seconds on the clock, but when he finds Showtime, Showtime will win it. Team ace for Tempo Storm.
You know, I like Dignitas. I'm not trying to be a biased caster, but I really wanted to see that Deagle ace. That was so close.
It was starting to look like it might happen there.
Oof. And you know what was so cool about that play was like, he could have planted that bomb for apps, and Showtime would have run a risk by running into the site to kill him. So Config, I think, knew this. I mean, once he got out, that was like free reign to plant the bomb, but he was playing to win the round. Like, he actually moved around the site in a way that I don't think Showtime would have expected, and almost caught them off guard. But either way, the damage is done, and that's quite a bit of economic investment that Tempo Storm have lost now.
Yeah, and actually on the rebuy, we'll see a lot more submachine guns come out. 2 MP7s and the UMP there on Phelps, and it's just the Glocks. Config with that Deagle one more time just because of, I think, the success that he found with it in the last round. Feels confident to use it again, but they are getting cleaned up here below the window in middle, and now it is just Hensky as Henny pushed through spawn to get that kill.
Yeah, this is a round where, you know, they're rebuying to make up ground because they lost so many guns last round. But the thing is, they've got to upgrade now, and Dignitas, I mean, noticing that there were Glocks, you're not expecting 2 more saves, you're just expecting 1. And I really like how Dignitas Glock saved there. Like, if you don't talk about anything, you know it's a full save. People are just going to pick up a P250 because it's so much better than a Glock. But on that round, when you're going to buy the next, you have to realize that a P250 means no smoke, a P250 means no head armor, no flash, and the utility you're going to have is so sparse in the first place that it's really important to be thrifty.
So all AKs now for Team Dignitas. You can see 3 members here for Dignitas out of a ramp. Now just 2 because Phelps is close and personal with that UMP. Coming away with 1 and Bolts through the smoke. Thought he might find it, but it's Hensky that will get that kill. He survives barely on 8 HP, and it's actually man advantage. Now evened up as Henny hits that shot. Quick flash over. He's still smoked off, and another flash there on to the stairs. Smoke's all dissipating there from the connector and from the stairs. 2 on 2. And he just holding the angle on the site, and where is Showtime? Showtime's actually just right next to him there on his left. So both players in CT, and the bomb will go down. Well, they start to spam the box. The op is not spamming. They're expecting perhaps a peek. Some damage was actually dealt, and both players now falling back to the ramp. Henny was kind of expecting the jump over on that triple box, And wow, not seeing him at all. Showtime actually had him in his sights. Kirby will best him though, peeking over those boxes of Tetris. And Henny's going to take a very quick reaction shot and another one there onto the A ramp, but missing them both. Finally gets Kirby as he starts to fall off Tetris. And now Henny, he does actually know where Rubino is. He missed a shot on him already. He just wants to tap the bomb, try to bait out this peak. And Rubino...
Not going to give him it. Could have stuck the bomb in that situation. Really nice from Rubino.
Oh my goodness, Henny through the floor. He won't win the round, but what an insane shot.
You know, this is also a map where like Henny is really good at opping. We've seen some breakout performances from him on Mirage, and it's also really friendly to oppers, especially on CT side. So no surprise that he hit some of these shots, but just in general, amazing shooting. Now, that was a very close round. Rubino is someone you can trust in a 1v1 to pretty much make the best decision every single time. You know, whenever we watch him play, I'm always just ready to watch Rubino win.
We're big Rubino fans.
Yeah, big Rubino fans. Yeah, so that was close. A lot of damage done by Tempo Storm, but Dignitas seal it up. And it was a good 2v2 by them to be patient.
Oh my goodness. Okay, that is a scout, right? Of course, this area commemorated for jumping with scoped weapons nowadays. There's Lucas to bring down one more, and Henny will hit a shot from the market window. Players are quite low, and that's actually a nade to take down Rubino, so no bomb even going to be planted. The nade stops it, and then Phelps takes down Config.
Oh, that's enormous. The full buy just shut down by that scout basically did almost 300 damage, and it had just put Dignitas in the hole right now. They've only got between 1,400 and 2,800 on their richest player to put together a buy, and it's no surprise that we see a force up now, anticipating the double save. A lot of people might look at this and think it's a kind of a tilt buy, but it's not. It's because they're not going to have a good buy next round, and they're basically just waiting or relying on loss bonus to make up for the ground that they lose.
And it looks like we've got, is that Rubino lurking around in Palace? Everyone else setting up, well, initially in those B halls. We've just got Tensky left in the kitchen, and that SMG is going to move in. Showtime to take him out for $600. Phelps keeping an eye on the ramp, or underpass there. From a connector, but he's now backed off. And yes, it was Rubino who's up in Palace. Oh, Config, I think he saw those feet.
Okay, that's a spec
That was
smoke.
a little weird. Yeah, it had to be a spectator smoke thing going on. And that's into a 4-on-4, but Bolts now with a triple box with a nice little spray transfer. Rubino does capitalize on that and finds him. Dignitas a man down with a little over a minute to go in this round.
Yeah, they're looking to do damage, but they actually have some stake here. They've got full HP, and the bomb, actually the bomb going down there.
That's timing right there.
Makes a world of difference. Lucas finding that kill has control of the bomb. No one's moving, actually. I think no one wants to get flanked, and I think they feel comfortable leaving Lucas in this part of the map. Is he not spotted the bomb? I'm surprised we don't even have one rotation out to help him defend.
I think you might have called it. Like, no one wanted to give up their spot. They felt that they had everything watched, and they know they've only got Tech 9s. They should be able to win the duels.
So the thing is, like, you could have two people, you could have all three people move to B, and then just have one dedicated watching flank, or you could have one watching from market window, and then one watching cat from bench, and then one watching the bomb or B apps, and then have all those people be able to support each other while also holding flanks together. So I'm not entirely sure that they saw it, but it seemed like they were confident either way.
Yeah, so now we've got just the Glocks, as you mentioned, like having to go in for that force buy because the double eco is going to be forced upon you. So really no stake in this round right now for Dignitas. Showtime's going to go up on top of the white van, now over to the platform.
Pretty brutal.
Will he expect Config this close? There is a chance for kind of the bait and switch, but it doesn't look like Config's going to go for it. Or he still has his knife out. Could he actually? They're trying to bait him in for the chance knife. No, never mind. He will eventually pull up that Glock and go to peak. Showtime takes away 3 with all of his silenced weapons, and it's just Kirby left up. He does grab that A1S and a smoke. He'll try to use the smoke to cover his retreat, and now he's going to go right back out into it.
Almost no chance that he's going to be able to save here, so he's understandably looking to take a fight. Just gets sprayed down to the smoke, but with the help of Lucas, gets taken down, and Tempo Storm are up 6-1. We've already seen 2 full Glock saves from Dignitas, and that is brutal. So, I mean, we can say that Tempo Storm winning all these rounds is pretty impressive. They've been great. There have been great sight holds so far. They've also beat Dignitas on their default one time, and that's notable. But I think the biggest thing is that the Tempo Storm are winning the economic game, and they're doing it with all these rounds in succession. So if they keep that up, like if they win this round, for example, they're going to have another save, another 2-for-1. So hugely important for Dignitas that they start to claw their way back into this game.
And you could expect that this round might be difficult for Team Dignitas because they finally got out to another buy with all AKs, but now they're dealing with something they haven't seen before, the double ops. And actually the first op already dealt with. MSL will take down Showtime with the AK on the catwalk. Bolts quick on the trade, and now here's Lucas at bench. Only the one kill. Tensky gets that trade immediately. A little bit of nade damage going in onto the planter, and I think even fire burning down Rubino. And he hasn't been able to get that bomb planted just yet. But Dignitas, Tensky got that kill, and it has given them the man advantage. Bomb now going down, and jumping through that smoke through the window. Very, very blind was Phelps. It's going to all be up to Henny now. 1 versus 3. Hit that first op shot, and now we'll pull out that CZ, that trusted secondary weapon, and it's Rubino to peek wide, and Dignitas finding the second round.
It's really nice to see Dignitas sticking to their guns and keeping the pace up in a situation where they're losing drastically, and they might be too worried to peek things or take things aggressively. And we see that hit B that didn't work the first time, I think they put it in perspective. They saw that they got hit, that tagged by a scout a couple of times. Honestly, even though there's going to be a better gun in the site that this time that they went, and they knew that, it wasn't going to be something that could hit them while they couldn't hit it back. And so I think they felt like they had a better chance, even though they're going up against better weapons.
There's actually, this is Henny already situated aggressive into Palace, but Rubino just expecting that, pre-firing pretty much as he comes around that corner, and that's Henny down. So another man advantage to Dignitas, where things are still, you know, not super great. Look at Config, just on a Tech 9 with a flash at the moment. Might have already used a smoke. And now we've got Lucas, was playing in the site at bench last time, and it's MSL just too aware, pushes into the ladder room, and we'll take him out. Now it's 5-on-3. Phelps actually will refresh this smoke, and somehow finding that kill onto Rubino. He'll live with 20 HP.
You know, he heard him prompting that smoke, so that was really close to finding that frag for good reason. 3v3 now as they move into the site. Showtime actually finds a headshot on Config as Tensky takes him down. And there's a trade, 2v2. Very favorable for Dignitas, though. Bolts from Kitchen picks up the op and a kill to go with it. Tensky knows that there's going to be line of sight in the bomb, and that's got to be stressful for him. Oh, I wonder if he's going to take this fight. It seems like if he get close to the op, it's going to be good. And yeah, Bolts tries to turn around, but can't find the kill. Tensky doesn't know how low the HP is on Phelps, but finds a headshot. Doesn't even notice. Doesn't matter. And the health is being asked.
Yeah, everyone immediately saying how low he is.
Yeah, extremely low. I mean, Phelps almost won that duel, but wow, what a reaction for him, Tensky. Great 1v2. Well played, and that keeps Dignitas in this game in a big way. It could have been another money-breaking round, right? Yeah. Not 2 in a row, just 1, and then back to saving. And it's actually Tempo Storm who don't have any guns, utility, armor, nothing. They're on a full save.
Well, let's see if they'll change things up just based on their economy. It looks like there is a big presence out in the middle right now, and then just 2 players at A. So they're trying to push off this catwalk. They pushed one into underpass as well, but that's all being dealt with by Kirby, MSL, and Tensky, each coming away with the frag. Bolt has situated himself in a bit of an angle here in connector, so he will get the 1 frag, but the other boys of Dignitas far away. Phelps, sure, that's a kill. First shot through that smoke, hits a headshot onto MSL, and it's actually become quite costly now for Dignitas. It's a 1-on-2. Phelps, maybe there's a chance here.
He's got no armor. I don't know if he's going to really go for this. I mean, I think what he sees right now is the opportunity to do a lot of damage and maybe keep players on the site, but the aim punch is going to be ridiculous for him. I mean, he doesn't even really have a chance to push into the site. I wonder if he should have just recycled the rifle, considering they're moving into the next round with not a whole bunch of money. Yeah, I mean, if he kept that rifle, then he could have dropped the rifle, had full nades, and done a lot, and that's a lot of information.
Well, yeah, see, I saw 105 ADR on the player that was in the middle there for Dignitas. Looking at the kills, I have to imagine that was Tensky. We saw that insane triple kill round from him where he actually clutched out that 1 versus 2, and that saved their economy. Earned them a free round against Tempo Storm, although hard to say free, right? They did lose 3 members in that last round. But the important thing is that score, right? Dignitas now within 2 rounds, and here's Phelps continuing to be good here at his A-ramp position. Cool Kids don't reload. He pulls out the AK, but then Rubino flying out of Palace, gonna find 2, and that will open up the A site.
Wow, that was kind of a messy entrance into the site, but it works out in the end. And Henny, oh, does he?
Showtime saved him, I think.
Oh, he saved his life. Yeah, Henny's still alive now, 3v3.
MSL gonna go under shadow here, or under porch, in the shadows, however you want to call it. The bomb has been planted 3-on-3. There's not too much utility. 2 flashes in his smoke for Tempo Storm going in on this. No kits as either. Config comes away with a double, and it's MSL that will, not find the last kill of the round. It's Lucas that'll take him out. He's moving in. Players are low. He'll turn it into a 1 versus 1, but again, no kit, so Lucas will have to acquiesce into CT spawn.
Yeah, I think that was really nice. If he knew Config was a Tetris, he would have just gone for that kill. But I think Tensky peeking out really early there with low HP acted as a bait and made Lucas think that he actually didn't have the ability to win the round, that Config was either playing really safe up in apps or down the A ramp in an untouchable area. So well played by them in that 2v1, a situation where Tempo had originally a 3v3, and it seemed like it was about to be close, but not quite, and Dignitas are about to tie this up now. Are they going up against a buy? It looks like not. Lucas just recycled that rifle, and we got a bunch of pistols on them, so Dignitas looking really good all of a sudden. And going back right to their A hit. It's nice how they don't just go for mid control every single round. They're doing like full A hits, full B hits, like B rushes, and it seems like they have a deep playbook on this map.
The equipment value is not really there for Tempestorm in this round, but they've already got a lot of information. They're playing a bit loose. Phelps has already completely pushed through the B halls. He's past the TV room. He's in spawn right now, so the flank will be coming in quickly, and it's Rubino once more. So good on the last round, exiting out of Palace and finding the opening kills onto this A site. He'll do it again here. Now Tensky with the follow-up kill. Actually, it is Rubino who found 2 again, and now Bolts going down on the stairs. It's Lucas last man up in CT spawn, but Kirby will erase him, and now we're tied up. What was looking to be possibly a landslide CT half for Templestorm has now evened up going into round 13.
Yeah, this is going to be a really telling round for me. And we see the adjustment coming out. We have Showtime and Henny both picking up AWPs. I think that's a really enormous adjustment. Sometimes when you start to lose rounds in a row, saving so that you can get new equipment is great, but then, you know, not just going for the 4 rifles and 1 up, and putting another op on the board can just change how you guys play, whether or not you talk about it. And I think that's really important to be able to reinvent yourself. And what an interesting smoke to counter the top mid smoke that you can almost expect every round. Henny opens it up, 5v4 now with a pick into underpass. MSL goes down, and they almost walked right into the other op of Showtime. And that's what's really interesting, right? Players will get extremely aggressive on the other side of the map once they see the op, because they're like, okay, now we know we can avoid this, we can take riskier peaks. But they almost ran into a second op, and it almost bit them in the ass. But instead, Showtime just posted up now. Whoa. Oh my gosh.
Whoa, yeah. And that was Tensky taking the damage, right? Down to 13 HP now. And interestingly, Templestorm, they went for the double ops. You know, they were winning perfectly fine. They go for the double ops. That's when they lost the rifle that let Dignitas get back into this. But they will go right back into the second ops. And of course, Henny getting that first pick, and then Showtime missing 1, but doing near lethal damage to Tensky. It's a good start to the round. 50 seconds now. Phelps looking for that informational play. Dodge the flames, no get hit by a nade. He will still stay alive. Henny to find another one. Phelps finally gonna get cleaned up. Henny knows that someone is behind him here, and he can't hit that shot. Doesn't look like the op was quite ready to fire yet, so Tensky's got 2 kills, and we've gone into a 3-on-3.
You know, CTs actually have really good spots in this 3v3, even though the site's being taken up. Because our player on cat right now can watch for the cat plant. It means as long as he stays alive, there's almost no zones where he can plant. What a great move from Dignitas to actually move into B and isolate him. And he gets traded out 1 for 1, and they leave Kirby to try to catch flanks. Will he get a kill here? He does. Wow. And they almost 100% that round off of that one play.
Not expecting both to be in CT, though. He actually turned to flash through the vent. So Kirby will go down, and now it's Bolts versus Config. 2 players that we did actually highlight kind of coming into this as the big stars of the team. So this is quite a 1v1 to witness. There's a Molotov back to the white van, and a quick reaction from Bolts. We'll take down Config with a near instant headshot and gets the defuse.
That was insane. I mean, okay, so you get the bomb down, or you go for the defuse immediately, and the couple of plays that you can make are you can peek right away, which is, it almost doesn't make sense if you think that the player is going to get off the bomb, especially if there's a lot of time left to defuse. But trying to read that play that he might go and stick it, we had Config peek out immediately, and why he did this is because when you're defusing the bomb, your crosshair is focused on the bomb. It's going to be near the ground. So it's like, okay, here's an opportunity. He gets the bomb right away. No matter what, I know he's not going to be aiming directly at me, and I can take this fight. But Bolts just flicked up and hit that insane shot right away. Yeah,
that was a very quick reaction. Thought it would definitely have like the height advantage there. Those flick shots up and down are so much more difficult. But we had MSL lining up a smoke in middle, Molotov to the island boxes, and that almost killed MSL straight away. And then Phelps, who had that mag 7, comes away with 1 frag, and Bolts falling in love with 2 of his own. So it's put Kirby in a very difficult position, and they knew where he was, and he will actually get that one through the smoke.
It's crazy how many different types of takes that Dignitas have tried. Right there, it looked like they melted, but they tried to get away with a ramp walk-up as well as a palace walkout, and Templestorm were just fully ready for it. But that type of play is contingent on your first player getting away with a kill versus a player who maybe has a nade out or isn't clearing an angle properly, and instead Tempo Storm were fully ready for it. But I think the thought was there and it made a lot of sense.
Well, there's been so much aggressive play. We've got Henny doing this again, this little smoke down that kind of can exploit that and try to get someone off the top of middle. And we've got Phelps also just playing aggressive into A ramp almost every single round.
Wow.
He gets at least one kill.
That smoke is hella cute.
Yeah. There you go, hella cute. And Henny does come away with that one frag. And oh my goodness, a blind flick. Might have caught Kirby lifting off, so he was able to kind of interpolate that. But what an insane shot. And here's Showtime coming away with one at B. He's got those players stuck, jumping off out. Finally, they will both get off of that platform, but immediately Phelps and Showtime hitting those headshots, and that's going to be the half. 9-6.
I think we have to check Henny's scope for magnets.
Yeah.
Can we get a magnet check on Henny's scope?
Well,
that's crazy. A lot of these shots he's hitting are like half blind, and when they're not, they're just huge flicks. But that smoke was fantastic.
All right, well, you guys can reflect on that shot. We're going to take a quick halftime intermission, and we'll be back with half 2 on Mirage. So stay tuned. Welcome back, everybody. Half 2 about to start on Mirage. Remind everyone, Tempo Storm did take that 9-6 on the CT side. It maybe could have been much worse, but Dignitas did show us they dug pretty deep. They had a ton of strategies ready, a lot of executes, and did manage to get those 6 rounds.
Yeah, that was a lot to be said about Dignitas' half. Tempo Storm, though, with the pistol, were able to take a lead. And then on top of that, they just had a lot of just great holds. Henny's hitting his shots, and overall, there was just a good kill distribution across the board for all the players involved. And so I think, you know, we talked about it right before this break, but the pistol here might mean, I don't even know who's going to win, even if Dignitas, oh, that's backwards.
Yeah, it's flipped.
Even if Tempo Storm win the pistol. Go by the flags, yeah.
Yeah, like the pistol could maybe decide it if it's a clean like 3-0 pistol But even then, like you would expect that Tempo Storm, the Brazilians here, could close it out. And there's Showtime with the jumping Glock. Phelps to follow it up, and the pistol round going swimmingly for Phelps.
Yeah.
And the rest of his team. That's a 10-6 real quick.
Literally no chance for Tempo Storm to do anything, or for Dignitas to do anything about that pistol, by the way. Like, every single shot, there was just no moment where you have the opportunity to shoot back. And they hit every first bullet there with their Glocks, jumping, peeking, whatever. There was just no chance.
And I think almost everyone got a kill. There's only a difference of 2 kills between top frag and bottom frag right now on Tempo Storm, which is, that's ludicrous.
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot about how, it tells a great story on CT side.
That nade was not good.
That nade was not good at all.
Well, Lucas running up to see the ragdoll of a Kirby falling off the stairs. Now Lucas will find that frag onto MSL.
Yeah, but typically you see like a lopsided kill distribution on T side because your entry fragger is usually doing a lot of work, especially if you're getting a lot of rounds. But on CT side, everybody needs to pitch in, especially versus like Dignitas in that first half where they were bullying each side equally. And yeah, Tempo Storm's holds were fantastic, and maybe we'll see someone kind of take charge here, moving into the first rifle on T side, because. Actually, I don't know. How soon will they get Henny and Op? I wonder. They still got a farm round here, and the lead slowly gets worse for Dignitas, who are going to be down 6 after this free round. They're just going to try to do as much damage as possible, but it's all about money right now.
I believe someone dropped him an MP7, so he didn't really buy anything going into this round.
I really like that fake. They just threw that cat smoke that they used to do cat split, and I think it fed right into the fear of Dignitas when they tried to stack B.
And their teammates trying to get him out of there with that grenade. He's still fighting. He's probably pretty intense for him. He's just trying to go in first and get all that money, because I think he does want that op out very, very quickly. He was trying to take every single battle just moving forward, and that's a feels Galil man for Config. He just takes a jumping Galil bullet to the face.
Wow.
There's got to be almost no worse feeling than that in Counter-Strike. And here's Tensky. I mean, he has pretty much been the man that has really showed up here. One of the most ridiculous plays of the game was that Tensky 3K round that came down to, I think, either 1v3 or 1v2 over in B.
Oh, now we're going to have the buy up. We don't actually have enough money for an op on the CT side unless someone wants to go glass cannon, which it's... Oh, actually, it looks like Config did have enough money. He's got 900 left over for half armor. That makes perfect sense. Now MSL's going to pick that op up. And I wonder if we're going to see Henny and MSL go head-to-head. Thorn mentioned that MSL is probably going to try to avoid him, and I agree with that sentiment completely. And there's almost no reason for the op to go head down. Whoa, what a shot from Henny.
Speaking of heads there, Henny is going to remove the one of Config with a ridiculous shot. So he's continuing to impress. Showtime there. Oh, that might have actually been through the smoke. I don't know if it created a one-way. It looks like there is a gap, so I think Tensky exploiting that one. But even still, it's Tempo Storm to get into B, full control. They spread out into great post plants, and it's 4-on-3.
Absolutely ridiculous wallbang headshot from Henny on a player jump spotting in the safest way possible, mind you. Some people do it wrong and they just jump straight up. Well, he was jumping across, and that's pretty much by far the safest way to do it. But apparently nothing is safe versus Henny. You give him an inch and he'll take a mile, and that entry has led Tempo Storm to take their round. So causing 3 players to save is a huge win, and they might even have the opportunity to kill both of them. Phelps has walked all the way up to Palace, so a high % chance that he might be able to shoot someone in the back, and no, Rubino fully aware of it and waiting. And it's really important to have proper exit setups. I mean, especially if you're going to save 3 guns. One of the worst feelings in Counter-Strike Helium is when you go to save with 3 players and then all 3 of you die.
Yep.
Because then you think about, wow, we could have attempted the retake. That was maybe like a 20% chance retake, but we probably could have got kills, and maybe we could have won the round. Instead, everyone died. So really important that they save those guns.
I think we just on the scoreboard very quickly. If you take the last half, it's now 7 rounds in a row for Tempo Storm. Here's MSL with the early kill onto Henny. Actually, the op taken out by an HE nade, as well as some bullets, I'm sure, assisting early on. And now Kirby getting the kill onto Showtime out of the connector. So this round, the first rifle for Dignitas. Going very, very well, but Bolts is going to try to earn this one back. There's a nice frag onto MSL, and Phelps coming up the connector. I don't think he's been known. He almost takes that flashbang to the face, nearly turning onto the man in A's sight, but it is Kirby that takes Phelps out of the round. Dignitas with the 4-on-2 advantage.
Yeah, converting from that huge loss last round into a great win here. Although they also saved 3 guns, so even though they lost that one, that does a lot for their economy, and now Bolt's going to be lurking up into the side. I guess this round isn't quite over yet. He's going to spot the rifle, but Tensky has his back in a big way. Gets the kill before the trade needs to happen. And now Lucas, just with the op, the twin of Henny.
Yeah, I don't know if he...
Can he mirror the op?
I don't know if he got
Henny?
the opping skills genetically, just the looks.
Feels alleles, man.
I guess.
That's the proper genetic term.
But man, that exchange with Bolt sneaking out onto A. Imagine if the player on balcony went down. I think some words would have been had on the between the members of Dignitas, but at least Tensky was able to save the day. Did come back to watch it, and now we've got Lucas just up at the top of middle. 20 seconds to go, waiting for something, and a player will appear. Can't get it done with the op. Nearly takes him out with the deagle. Kirby lives on 2 HP.
Did Kirby have 100 HP? Because that was like...
I'm not sure. I guess he was like near 60 HP.
I'm going to hope so. Otherwise, he just did 98 damage in one shot with the deagle.
And let's see, biggest performer is it Phelps with 94. Now it's Config with 96.6 ADR, so he is leading the charge there. It looks like Tensky has slowed down a little bit, but he was the member kind of in charge of getting Dignitas back into form in that first half. Some very important rounds that he won for them.
Dignitas have a long road back versus a very dangerous team if they want to win this map. I mean, at Tempo Storm, we're already at that critical amount of rounds. The red amount of rounds is, I think I like to think about them. And ooh, Lucas,
wow,
nice
Lucas.
peek over that smoke.
Just so confident too, going up on those boxes to just take the shot. Rubino getting a nice one, and I think that was Phelps from triple taking down Rubino, so the trade does come out.
Wow.
And it's Config that goes right up top. The big performer here, he will spray down another.
That was just fantastic movement. You see how quickly he got up on ticket booth? No miss jumps. Just straight up turn that into a 2-frag. Off the back of
everywhere, rejoice.
Yeah, exactly. Nice angle from Config. Gets a 3rd on the round. Big plays from him. And shout out to Rubino. He got that 1 kill and did like 90 damage to the other player. That was enormous. Sometimes we forget when, because the solo site player or site player dies in the middle of the round that a lot of his efforts don't go to waste, especially when you have teammates that come in and finish the alley-oop, I guess.
There you go. So Dignitas, 2 rounds in a row. They will still need 5 more to even bring it back to a tie. They should find this one here in round 22. There's really not much going on for Tempo Storm. A little bit of utility. Lucas is actually already fallen, taken up by Tensky, and that was the one guy who went middle on what looks to be kind of a B split. 1 up mid and 4 here pushing through the smoke. A nice little flash, and that will limit Config to just the 1 kill. And now it's up to Tensky. He's on the window cross. He will bring down Phelps, but he's taken considerable damage, down on 10 HP, and Showtime to finish him off. MSL pushing forward, missing the op shot, and Bolts with a quick response. We're now into a 2-on-2, and the bomb is going down. This round way closer than it should have been here for Dignitas, but it looks like Kirby may yet get them out of it. And it's Bolts now with armor. And a 1 versus 2, no head armor though, and that could hurt against the CT weaponry, but won't matter. Rubino gets that final frag.
Critically important 2v2 won by Dignitas there on the retake. Obviously, when the bomb's down, it's slightly T-sided depending on the positions of the CTs, but Dignitas make it work with very average retake spots. And now they're within 4 of actually tying this up. Tempo Storm have been known to win rounds in a row and lose rounds in a row, and we see that starting to come into play right now. They've earned themselves a save, and I think here versus this buy, Henny's going to have to go to town, putting that aggressive op to work.
Yeah, I don't think Henny has really had any problem getting into town so far yet on Mirage. We've seen some incredible work with that op already put forth, and he's going to go for it once more. Well, everyone blind here. He won't be connecting that one, and that will allow MSL to take up that angle, and that's unfortunate. He lands the shot, but it's just into the leg of Phelps, so he'll stay alive, and Henny actually just eating that grenade.
Excellent.
A lot of damage. So no kills, but a ton of early damage given by Dignitas.
Good flashes, though. Grenade usage on point right now for both teams, favoring Dignitas, though whether they know it or not, have already done quite significant damage.
And it seems like this whole exchange at B might just come down to a good flash, or perhaps a botched one, depending on your perspective, as they keep attempting to retake this angle. I think those are smoke starting to trickle on in to the B bomb site. Lucas, meanwhile, I don't think he's spotted. That flash was just going out, maybe testing the waters.
Intense amount of coordination required for Tempo Storm to maintain their positions right now. And Lucas goes down in connector. That's a huge amount of information for Dignitas. They know that no one's there to trade, and that most likely B is going to be a problem for them soon. But have saved a smoke at the 40-second mark. This is going to put a lot of pressure on Tempo. They've got to make a decision fast.
And the op shots were coming through that, so Config knows that they are still there. Look how much damage he has done, nearly 300 damage. They're so low, he's gonna get 2 as they run out. Could have maybe got that third in this. Actually, we're going bowling here. Nope, he will miss. Gutter ball. Showtime on 11 HP, 1 versus 5. You gotta say no chance, especially with 15 seconds, and he's been spotted.
Timeout called. It's a pretty opportune moment, I think. Dignitas won every part of that round. They did they traded better with the nades. They shut down all the B aggression, and they kept maintaining B apps control, which I think they recognized the Tempo Storm wanted so badly. And then Lucas going down a connector, shutting down the lurk is an enormous frag as well. That controls rotations for Dignitas. That allows them to get 4 rounds in a row, and now they're completely back in this. So luckily for Tempo Storm, they're able to recycle this off. But this makes the decision right now to buy, I guess, a little bit easier, but a little more complicated because they've got to figure out how to win this round with not the most equipment, though.
Well, actually, Henny, I mean, they're going to be having a max loss bonus, right? So everyone could buy down to like 2K, mid 2Ks. Henny could just get armor and perhaps a nade, and they could even throw the op over to him.
Well, the way I see it, they've got like 2 full buys. It's just like 2 people on somewhat low money. I mean, they haven't bought yet, but I assume that they're going to. It's too tempting. It's just too tempting, right? How can you tell your team no to not buy behind that? It's just.
I'm sure they will. Like, they have enough money to make it a pretty like decent equipment value round, and then still, if they lose, they've got the max bonus. You're on T side, it's cheaper anyway. I'm sure they will be, pulling out the calculator, punching in those numbers, crunching the numbers. But that may not be the most important thing to talk about for them. They just kind of got to reset. We saw them struggle in their first match against SK, right? They were up 14-1 at the half, and that ended up, did that end 16-14? Either way, it went down to the wire eventually, maybe 16-13, and something that shouldn't have happened. They should have closed it out. And in the interview, they cited that it was not so much complacency as we've kind of been saying on the desk, but they just like didn't have their confidence to get back into it, which seems crazy.
Yeah, I've said it before, but I think it's simply the thought of losing again in a situation where you threw a huge lead, coming back to haunt them, right? Just the thought of that happening again, even though it hasn't happened yet, it's just like a self-fulfilling prophecy that you kind of have to get over mentally. It's kind of hard to understand, how a team can like blow a lead when they just played so well first half. They got to be feeling great, but once it happens once and twice and 3 times, you just really get in your own head about it. And that's like that's the situation where you're your own worst enemy, and you just have that mental hurdle that you have to overcome. But beyond that, you show that you can actually do really big things, and we're seeing that Tempo Storm have the capability to just outclass Dignitas on some of these rounds. It's just not all of them.
Let's see, looks like we got Tensky replay coming in. Oh, this is his big round where, it was a 1 versus 3. He's already got that first kill, moves in the market, takes down Bolts, and then this is that crazy. He takes damage first, dinged, right?
Yeah.
He's the one that flicks over. So that was pretty sick stuff there from Tensky.
Huge plays. Yeah, Dignitas, no lack of talent on Dignitas.
Yeah, definitely not. Yeah. And I think that was the round that either got them one more rifle or possibly the one that even broke the economy. So there was massive implications for that, because that first half could really have gone out of control in favor of Tempo Storm. I think it was 6-1 at one point. And then we had our 6-6, and then it finished 9-6.
Yeah.
So I think it was a streak of like 5 rounds in there for Dignitas on the T side. And now they've also had quite a few rounds in a row, because we're back to, 13-10. The comeback is always real. The team's on 13 rounds. The other team gets into this double-digit territory, and then the memes come out. Comeback is real.
Yeah, comeback is real. And it's entirely possible for sure. We're in winnable territory for both teams is the summary of what we're talking about here. And because we're on even footing in terms of equipment, or relatively even in terms of equipment for both teams, this is a huge round. Tempo Storm had the opportunity to take this round and then be 1 away from match point. That is a lot of stress off their back, and are obviously taking this pause. And power of the pause, man. I would put money on any team to win a round after a pause at this level. It seems like it happens every time without fail. And it's because they have the ability to think about what to do next based on what they think Dignitas are going to do next and what they've been missing in the past as well. And so, a good team with a strong mind can consider their options, think, deeply about mistakes that have been made and fix those, and while also just getting a nice mental reset where they can just calm down.
And would you say it's fair to mention that maybe the power of the pause is even more present from the T side, right? Because you're the terrorist, you get to kind of dictate what's going to happen, and the CTs haven't seen maybe your new style yet, so they can't adjust or know what to expect.
Sure, yeah.
So Tempo Storm do have that going for them, but of course Dignitas also had that 5 minutes to discuss what they maybe thought was working or wasn't working. But yeah, will the power of the pause come into effect? We'll find out now.
Really stubborn about this DApps control that I think they want so badly. And I know, and Dignitas obviously recognized it and fought for it, and that's why they won the last round. I wonder if Tempo Storm want to do something similar, but in a new way.
Yeah, it definitely got them into trouble that last round. With all those flashes, everyone's vying for control of that op angle. Phelps took a lot of early damage. Henny ate that grenade, and it made the round pretty tough to win from that point on. But still, we've got 5 alive. I don't even believe that Dignitas have spotted anybody. They know they've made some sort of contact because Spam has been going back and forth through that smoke and through the boards over at B.
A couple of NA nades coming out.
Yeah. MSL up in the window with his op right now, looking for these battles. I think he's actually pretty limited on kills right now, but that is to be expected sometimes as that IGL.
Yeah, mid-control has been taken by Tempo Storm. MSL, though, is going to be a little bit adamant about holding connector now and finds a kill. Will he get traded? No, it's actually Tensky to help him out and continue the rampage, though. Bolts goes 2 for 2 in that exchange, and now it's all on config.
Not spotted.
With 2 players moving to B-apps, bomb down in B-apps, and now just Showtime all by himself, but config does it himself. Wow, team effort there. Everybody getting in on the action.
Well, except for Rubino.
Rip Rubino, but he didn't need it. That was cool. It was interesting, Tempo Storm approach middle in a new way. But I think what Dignitas are doing that's really nice is that they're waiting for the slow play to happen, and then when the smokes come out, they're not afraid to get in front of them. They're like, okay, they're just assuming that with this delay control, they're going to give it up eventually. But Dignitas are not. They're being stubborn, and I think that's working really well for them.
Oh, that nade not going to do as much as I would have thought to Showtime, but he's taken some damage as he's crossed over to middle, and he actually has scurried off. We've got Tensky once again on Cat. He was kind of the saving grace of that last round for Dignitas. And it looked like it might even get messy after that when Bolts found 2, but they were able to clean it up and prevail. Now Config taking a lot of pressure over here. Molotov goes down. He will kind of go back to the white van, but it's Lucas that'll take him out of the air with the Tech 9. So now 4-on-4. MSL hits the op shot onto Lucas there from the market window. Tensky completely smoked off both areas of that catwalk entrance smoke. So a very nice tactical execution here onto the site, but it's Rubino and Tensky ready for the retake. They've even still got utility left and kits, and it's actually just spammed the bench.
Oh my gosh. He actually just had a Glock.
Yeah.
Everyone else had, was that they bought a couple of smokes. No, I guess they just had Tech 9s and
I think Henny just doesn't go for anything because he wants to get back to that op as soon as possible.
Yeah, I was just wondering if they had a rifle or not. Look how much money they have for this round. That's actually too much money to have on a T-side round.
Yeah,
like
you
any
just
given
don't
round.
need that much.
You just don't need that much. And
well,
it sounds
unless
weird.
You want to go for the Gevs.
Yeah, unless you want to go for the negatives, right? So that actually means that they could have spent more money last round, had a better chance to have won it, maybe bought half armor on a couple of players, and then still had more than enough money to win here. On T-side, plenty of players will die without using all their utility. It's just way too hard to keep them alive. And also, you're just more expendable on T-side, so you don't need that many people with that much utility, in fact. Especially if you could have had a better chance in a previous round.
Yeah, I think Phelps, for instance, has $1,600 left over this round. So that could have maybe given Henny a shotgun, an SMG, or even just a better pistol. And maybe it could have made the difference. Here's Config taking down Lucas straight away. And MSL holding the angle here on this window, but Henny just too quick. He takes that over. Then it's Showtime and Phelps also getting involved. So a 4-on-2 post plant, and Dignitas, they were within 1 of tying it up, but Tempo Storm, they denied them that.
And although it doesn't efface my point, I'd like to mention that Tempo Storm did a great job using utility this round. All 5 of their players had smokes, mollies, flashes, and yeah, that's just a a solid after plant. Like I didn't even see Dignitas having the ability to come in without already being on CAD or just like a long flank through halls. But Tempo Storm having so much utility, getting rid of it, all on a fast split too. Doing an excellent job on that take. 14 to 12 now. Have they broken the curse? We'll find out. Wow. That was such a fast shot.
Find out next time on
next episode.
Counter-Strike.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 7, I think, or maybe 6 rounds in a row for Dignitas on the CT side, so it was quite a streak. And actually, I imagine the money's got to be quite low for Dignitas. Some of those rounds were getting pretty close. Here's MSL. There's a nice shot. On to Showtime. Catches him jumping, and Rubino trying to keep the hope of winning Mirage alive. He finds one over here, as well as MSL getting that first kill, but it's Bolts with the response, and now Henny, so it's a 3-on-3. Tensky with another Molotov going pretty far. I don't know if that's landed in the best position. I think that'll block the run up to that default box, and now MSL taking over that angle with his op.
MSL going to be a key player right now in a situation where it couldn't be more important for him to get kills. And one actually losing a duel now to him, and even though he got his kill, it's a 2v2. So I think this might favor Dignitas as long as MSL still has an op, and really huge impact, but Lucas killing him on the site means so much more than the damage he did with that nade on Bolts. And now it's a 1v2. Bomb might get planted, though gonna be spotted crossing. And, oh, the second kill doesn't come out. Lucas finds it and brings Tempo Storm to match point. You can tell that he's excited about that.
Yeah, looking at this guy with his knife out, I think some fist bumps were probably going down there as Tempo Storm, you know, not quite out of it yet. Dignitas are keeping it very, very competitive here in these, you know, final few rounds that are left. But that's at least an overtime for Tempo Storm.
You know, I feel like the footsteps that MSL made was akin to someone bleeding in water. As, you know, he was heard from Lucas running back out of the site, and Lucas knows he has an op, so he caught him backpedaling. Wow. And now Dignitas are actually about to lose this entire game.
MSL got aggressive into pallets, and he got shut down. And I believe another player got aggressive into middle, and then they got shut down. So that's 2 quick kills for Tempo Storm. Config, go in there, Stretch Armstrong. Come on, oh no, he pressed E too many times. All right, Rubino's gone out. He's picked up the op. But now he's being aggressed on by Bolts, who will take the fadeaway nade and give him the points because he's got down Rubino. He hits the jumper.
Great grenades. Oh, man. If he were to catch the bomb, that would be amazing, but
Lucas has no idea.
Damage. Oh, no, Lucas actually gets away. That's amazing. Or awful.
Does
it depends how you look at it.
He's here. Here's those footsteps, and he pulls out a Molotov, and you kind of got to wonder about that one.
Yeah.
But it may not matter. It's still a man advantage and a bomb plant going down here on the A site.
I wonder if they faked the death cam far enough. They're having 2 players spotted, but the bomb goes down. They're in great after plant spots, and they're probably worried about all angles regardless. You know, Dignitas, not with their tournament life, with their map life on the line, are going to have to move in for this retake. Config very low, but has some utility.
Oh, and taken down pretty much instantly. And yeah, you say not the tournament life, their map life, and yeah, Dignitas will lose it. Tempo Storm we see now very